Scarpa d'oro e Golden Foot è semplicemente uno di noi. 307 gol, 786 presenze, 567 da capitano. Numero 10, Francesco! Figlio di Roma, capitano, bandiera, campione d'Italia e campione del mondo, uno scudetto, 2 Supercoppe, 2 Coppe Italia. Scarpa d'oro e Golden Foot è semplicemente uno di noi. 307 gol, 786 presenze, 567 da capitano. Numero 10, Francesco!
Arrivederci. This is Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM. It's also on Hitz 103.9 FM. From wherever you've tuned in, thank you for staying with us. Welcome to the show. Yes, the most authoritative, the most fun, the most analytical, the most informative sports show on your radio. Every Friday from 1:15 all the way to 3 p.m. So we are on for the next 95 minutes specifically. And we'll be talking the very best from the world of sports. Lots of things have happened this week, including Champions League action, some shocking results. Barcelona completely destroyed by Chelsea. Arsenal destroyed by Munich. We also know that Man City were shocked, shell-shocked at home by Bayer Leverkusen. And we know that the Liverpool rot continued and that Virgil van Dijk showed that he has a lot more capabilities as a volleyball player just as he does as a football player. What a wonderful strike of the ball. But yeah, what's going on there? How much longer can that continue? And then this weekend is a big game that awaits us in the Premier League as well. There's Arsenal against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. It's first versus second. Can Chelsea stop the Gunners? That is the question. Here at home, plenty also happening. Kotoko suffered their first defeat of the season. First defeat of the season. But it's like the Kotoko coach wasn't exactly happy that Holy Stars turned up the way they did when they played them. He said, why haven't they played like that for the whole season?
It is okay. The way for every club, we all want to win the league. It's not only Kotoko. If the way you play here, the way you are playing every club, there will be last. So Kotoko, everybody wants to beat Kotoko. That is the magnetic of the issue. But we didn't play badly. We played good football, and we created chances. But putting the ball into the net was another, once again, the problem. But so far so good. We are playing the league.
The way you played against Kotoko, if you were playing like that against every opposition, will you be last? Karim Zito. His reaction to Kotoko's defeat to Holy Stars in midweek, quite an interesting one. But even more importantly, their rivals, Hearts of Oak, who do not know how to win matches at home, have managed to abandon their home grounds at the Accra Sports Stadium, and they've now run to Legon. Let me not use the word run before they attacked me. They've now decided that they don't want to play home matches at the Accra Sports Stadium any longer. They now want to go and play at Legon. Is it coincidence that they are changing the venue after picking up only 2 points From all the home matches they've played this season, actually, how many points? Why are you looking at me like that? 5? 6 in 5. They picked up 6 points in 5 games. That's 15 points possible at home. They've only picked up 6 points. That is, they've decided that Accra Sports Today is not serving them well, so they are going to. They are going to Legon. They are going to Legon. So that's another story there. And then the last thing we will talk about, there's another committee, Inter-Ministerial Oversight Committee, that the government of Ghana has put in place to oversee Ghana's World Cup preparation and participation in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. We'll tell you exactly what their roles are. But this show is proudly brought to you by Betway and Petrosol, proud sponsors of Game Plan every Friday afternoon. Of course, my name is Fentuo, Tahiru Fentuo, your host. And joining me this afternoon, my usual guest, Muftawu Nabila Abdulai, is here. Mufti, how you doing?
I am good.
Yeah. Are you? Your energy seems a bit too low.
You the intro with Muftawu Nabila Abdulai, how are you? And I said I'm fine.
The way you are laughing is the issue.
I laugh in capital letters.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Welcome to the show. Have you had a good week?
Oh, yeah, I've had a very good one.
Okay,
very very good one.
Also here is Sitsofe Atsrim. How you doing? Sue. Hey, since you mentioned Sue, FIFA said that Cristiano Ronaldo is an exemplary player. 226 international matches, no red card. So because of that, even though he went to punch a player in the back, they will not give him a 3-match suspension. They will give him a 1-year probation instead. And that you will only get 1-match suspension, which he has already served.
Knowing that he will retire.
That he may not go beyond the 1 year.
He may not go beyond the 1 year, so he will retire.
Hey, Charlie. Sue. Where's Koranteng? Where is he? Where's Koranteng? Atsu.
He should be here in the moment.
Welcome. Is he late?
No.
Why? If he's not late, why is he not here?
Once he's in the building.
He's in the building.
But you assign him other tasks than
The
just
show is not done in the building. The show is done in the studio. So
thank you very much, Atsu. Thank you. So being in anywhere in the building.
But that's what you told me that multimedia, you have mics connected to the walls.
No. I'm just
wherever he is in the building, he can speak through the mic and he will hear you.
He's in the newsroom. What is he doing in the newsroom? He should come here.
I'm just saying that he's probably performing a task for the sports desk.
You started by saying that a task I assigned him.
Yes.
Now that it's become apparent that I didn't send him anywhere.
No. You don't need. But what I'm doing right now, it is a task for the sports desk. But
I can't see from here.
But
I can see your name is there.
Someone can see it and you can.
For all you know, it can be something else. But guys, welcome to the show. We've got a lot to get through. You know what? I'll do something maybe slightly different. Maybe start with some Champions League stuff and get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Because it's been quite the week of Champions League football. Quite the week of Champions League football.
But Kimmich needs to go and engage.
Right, Suzu's onto it. This is Azar. Fresh legs of Calafiore, and that was whipped in beautifully and finished off by Noni Madueke.
Yeah, Arsenal high flying in that game against Bayern Munich, destroyed the Bavarians, handed them their first defeat in 19. In fact, their first defeat this season. No other team had beaten Bayern Munich until they came up against Arsenal. And it all came crashing down in that second half. Already the Bayern manager, Vincent Kompany, wants to play Arsenal again. Shall they score you? You want to play them again almost immediately. Well, at Anfield.
In his desk, Pepe is waiting for it. It comes back to Driouche, who drives it home and drives another nail, the final nail into the Liverpool coffin tonight. The Liverpool of last season has evaporated, and the Liverpool of this season is a mess.
complete mess indeed. Perfectly described. That's 9 defeats in 11. The last 11 games.
12.
That is in the last 12 games. That is unbelievable.
Has anyone heard from Kwigwahim?
So it's natural that the future of the manager is under the scrutiny. And he says that his situation hasn't changed.
Now there's a lot of pressure if you work or play at a top club, and even more so if you start losing more games than this club or this players or this manager is used to. So then there's always pressure. But there was a lot of pressure last season as well for us to win the league, and now it's a different kind of pressure because we've lost so many games. But what it does to me, I can just do the same, but I don't have to play. So maybe my job is a little bit easier if it comes to this, because I think it's hard for every player if you are in a bad run of results.
Liverpool Football Club. Listen, Sitsofe, I'm just going to throw this to you. What is going on there? There is a slump that can happen with 3 defeats. Some draws, no victories here. But 9 defeats in 12 matches. That is relegation style kind of form.
Yeah, and what is happening to Liverpool, it's almost similar to what we saw happening to City last season, when the season prior they had won the league. Coming to last season, and they looked like they didn't have answers to anything. But a lot of that could have been pinned to, if you like, Rodri not being available for most parts of the season last season for City. And City kept, losing games, and City kept playing poorly. And then it affected their confidence. But by the time the season was about to get into January, City found a little bit of consistency to their game, so they finished in top 4. So what is happening to Liverpool is quite similar. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I think Liverpool are not firing is that I find Liverpool as a team that lacks energy, mm-hmm. that lacks spark, mm-hmm. that looks slow on the pitch. And I've said it before that when you have just won the league and you're bringing in about 5 to 6 players, and most of those players you are bringing in are supposed to be in the starting 11, that disorients the team that almost immediately won the league. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately for Liverpool and Arne Slot, the players that he brought in, apart from Ekitike maybe, none of the signings have really hit the ground running. So you've replaced a couple of players who were consistent, or you knew what you expect from them from last season, mm-hmm. with new players, and the new players haven't hit the ground running. So Liverpool are playing with about, say, 6 or 5 players short, because Isak is not the same. Ekitike has had his injury worries, even though he's had a decent start. Kerkes and then Fentuo have not had a great start to life at the club. Florian Wirtz has struggled. So all the signings who have come in, Fentuo was supposed to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was a big part of the team. He's not getting it right. Kerkes is supposed to replace Robertson, who for a very long time was so reliable. He's not getting it right. Florian Wirtz was supposed to introduce something else, be creative, bring about goals. He's not doing that. You have Isak, who was supposed to bring in plenty goals. He's not doing it. And then there's Ekitike, who we can't blame so much because he's had a decent start to life. So that's a big problem when you have so many of your players not delivering. And to make it worse, the players that were so reliable for the club in more recent years as well, the turn of results and events have also hit their confidence levels. And so some of them are beginning to look like they are struggling. Some of them also, to be honest or fair, haven't been fit. Key player then is McAllister. He hasn't looked fit the entire season. We know he was carrying an injury at the start of the season. Preseason was a mess for him, and it's hard to play through. So it's not been the same. Then all of a sudden, Van Dijk, who's the leader at the back, has lost his form, can't seem to organize the back. And now there is Konate, who is all over the place because the leader he's playing alongside is all over the place as well. And then you talk about Mohamed Salah, who at the moment, his game has to change because Liverpool have changed a bit of how they play. And Salah is not looking any faster. He's not looking any sharper. He's not looking like he's confident. So you look around the Liverpool team, it is a ripple effect of how they conducted that summer business. And for me, when Liverpool are pressing their opponents from the front, it doesn't have any energy. And then when the ball comes to the middle of the park, they don't look like they are sharp enough to get across the pitch, to cover spaces, to put in tackles. So when you play against Liverpool, be rest assured that you are winning most of the second balls because they are not quick enough to arrive on the spot. And when it comes to them being organized, it doesn't happen. So Arne Slot has to change something. He has to I think for me,
I think he tried that. I think we saw in a couple of matches, like in the game against Real Madrid, where he basically shifted Wirtz out wide.
Yeah.
And they did well. And they won the game. And they played well. It wasn't just about the victory. They played well as well. But they haven't been able to carry on with that momentum.
That was again. Look, it's like Real Madrid can be bad and win games in La Liga. But they will be exposed when they play against top teams elsewhere across Europe. So, yes, it's Real Madrid. But Real Madrid haven't been good at that alone. So, even when they've won games, they've not been impressive. So, for example, Real Madrid won in midweek against Olympiacos. The storyline, however, is Mbappe scores 4 goals. But go behind the storyline and watch the game. They were bad. They were poor. Real Madrid. They were really bad in that game. And so, Liverpool might have got the job done against Real Madrid. But that didn't necessarily. And in fact, the game before that was a game against Aston Villa. Mm-hmm. And Aston Villa caused their own problems. I mean, they gave away too many cheap chances. In fact, the Salah goal was a gift for Martinez. And Villa at the time were just about to find their rhythm and form as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't look at the Real Madrid game and think that what Slot tried to do necessarily worked. I think he played most of the players from the last season. But again, they still lacked a lot of the energy that I talk about. Madrid are not coordinated enough. When they play against Real Madrid, it's almost like you're playing against Liverpool. But Real Madrid's front line have got a bit more firepower about them than what Liverpool have got now. So that I only use that Real Madrid game really to judge Liverpool that they were on the rise or they were doing something right. The bottom line is the way Slot wants to play, he doesn't have enough pace, speed, acceleration, sharpness, and quickness about his players to do so. So maybe now he has to think about changing something. He has to think about being a possession, dominate like center team. A team that will keep the possession and suck the life out of the game from the opponents.
You see, I feel like all of these are just excuses for Slot. I look at
they are reasons. They are not excuses.
The reasons why they're struggling.
Yeah. From where I said, okay. You asked me
I get you.
So that's my viewpoint on that.
Yeah. I understand your point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I feel like a lot of those things also come down to the manager. I mean, he was giving a war chest to go into the market, and he conducted the transfer business that he did, knowing or with the intention that these were the players that he needed to improve.
We don't know that. We don't know that the signings that came in for Liverpool were Arne Slot signings. We don't know that.
So now that's the issue.
No.
So now we're gonna make an excuse for
it's
him.
Not an excuse. They are facts. I'm saying we don't know.
But every time signings are made, the buck stops with the manager.
No,
we can always go behind the scenes and say that okay.
When you say that he was given a war chest to get players, you want us to assume that he handpicked the players that came through.
So I can rephrase and say he was backed in the market.
I'll take that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and no, like there are very few clubs in the world where the manager doesn't get a say in how he can improve his squad.
No, there are very few clubs. There are lots of clubs.
Liverpool is one of them.
Yes.
Slot had no opinion.
I'm not going to say he had no opinion. I'm just saying.
That's the point I'm making. That my point is this, that he contributed in deciding which players he needed to improve his squad. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the players coming and is not working.
Yes.
So far. As you explained, a lot of the reason they're struggling is because of the profile of the players that have come into his team. Yeah. It is not playing a style that is making them
and the profile of players that he has lost.
And the profile, that is symbiotic. So the ones that have come to replace the ones that he knew, the ones that were leaving, and he knew the ones he was bringing in. Mm. So he knew that these ones coming in would do a job for me in the absence of the ones that were going. They've come in, they're not doing well. Shouldn't a lot of that be on him? And I'm making this, and I'm asking this question because I don't understand why Slot still has a job. Like, what are they waiting for?
No. A lot of that, they are waiting for. When you sack Slot now, you're looking at who comes in. But the point is, Slot won the league last season, and that gives him a big leverage. Before he came, Liverpool had not won the league in 4 or 5 years?
Since 2020,
Yeah, Liverpool had not won the league in the 4 years prior. And Liverpool had a squad good enough to win the league. They didn't win it. So Slot walks in and wins the league in his first season. It's not the same as Ruben Amorim. It's not the same as even Mikel Arteta, who had not won so much and had to rebuild a team. So he has some leverage, and that's why he still has a job. So they can trust him on that.
Okay.
I get it. That he obviously, when the team's confidence hits the level that it has hit for Liverpool, then the manager has a big part of the blame to soak in. I am saying that on hindsight, and for Liverpool, look, when Liverpool were making the signings, I think I was one of the few people in the whole world, if not the only person in the whole world, who thought that they were getting it wrong. And I said it on every single platform and every opportunity I had, that I wasn't convinced by the transfer. Nobody can convince me that Arne Slot said that he didn't need another centre back, because we knew they were actively looking. Those who were going to pay the money decided on the timing of it, and in the end, it didn't work. Is it costing them? Yes, it is costing them. Nobody can convince me that Liverpool didn't think they needed a midfielder. They did, but they were prioritizing signing Isak because they thought if they lost Isak this summer, the competition for him would be bigger and maybe another team would come for him. And then there was Ekitike who had presented himself as well. So they went. So I'm saying the way Liverpool planned their summer business was bad, because you can't lose about 4 or 5 starters and then bring in another 4 or 5 starters into a team to just come and kick it going. It rarely happens. Normally, when teams have won titles, they have 1 or 2 major signings who come in to make them better or improve them or improve their bench. But to change about 5 players from your team that has just won the league, I think that is where Liverpool got it wrong. And now, Arne Slot has to turn the corner. He plays West Ham, after which he plays he plays West Ham, plays Leeds United, and there's another game. All those games are winnable before he plays Inter Milan in the Champions League. If Arne Slot doesn't win his next 3 games, I think Liverpool have to start thinking about finding another replacement.
And even in terms of the needs that he was at,
there's Sunderland in between the Leeds and then the West Ham games.
Yeah, the needs that you were talking about that he assessed that he needed, like a centre back. Didn't they sign a centre back?
Who did they sign? Who?
They signed an 18-year-old
for
25 million pounds. What are you saying?
An 18-year-old for 25 million pounds in this market. So
what? Hold on. There are other teams that have signed 18-year-olds who have come in and are immediately making an impact.
Is the player not injured? Is the player talking about not injured?
So I'm saying that look, the so-called idea that they needed a centre back and didn't get one. No, it's not. They got one.
But the guy is injured. How do you expect him to make an impact?
They got one.
They didn't get him.
Not like
no, it's not as if he's available and he's not using him.
But they got one.
No, they didn't.
Okay, cool.
If otherwise, why were they chasing Magay?
Danike, welcome. Where were you?
I was conducting some backdoor business.
Backdoor business.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, sit down. Atsu. Atsu.
I saw him drinking Don Simo.
You saw him drinking Don Simo?
You right now, I shock. Right now, if I was going to get some brandy with somebody, you sports that thing because you took me for radio talk.
And he left the leftover for Karim. It's true. Karim is so he's smoking the tea. Like, you see the way when the tea is empty, but you are beating the
He's trying to suck the life out of the paper box.
You know, be serious.
You wait for it. You wait for the last piece of action. He go find scissors.
He go cut out.
He go cut out.
Experience.
Yeah, he knows from experience.
Okay, so the lowdown on Klopp. Actually, what have you got to say about that? Sack or keep?
Slot. Sack him how?
Slot.
Why should they sack him?
Huh?
Why should they sack him?
What do you mean?
It's a legitimate question. Why should they sack him?
On a poor run. And there's no sign
that... No. You cannot in one breath tell us that you are a special club that values loyalty. Your ex-players, your coaches, your ex-coaches, they all talk about the fact that Liverpool don't sack coaches. That they back their managers through thick and thin. And they extend that loyalty into their players to say that when you play for Liverpool, you don't get to choose when you leave. You serve the club until the club is tired of you and then they get rid of you. So, and that is why when Steve Gerrard in 2005 decided that he wanted to play for Chelsea, they literally had to threaten him. The general manager had to give interviews and speak in a manner that was very reprehensible. Fans were burning his jerseys. Eventually, he made that U-turn and had to go back on his word to Jose Mourinho. Some 20 years later, we see the same treatment being meted out to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who had given 20 years of his life to Liverpool. So you cannot extol those virtues. You cannot in one breath project and pontificate piety as a unkwan. As for you, dear, you are loyal, boni new. But then when it comes to
pontificate piety,
yeah, you because when it comes to you, you tend to show loyalty to your manager. Then we are asking questions. Did you not hear Jimmy Carragher this week? He said Liverpool, they don't sack coaches. He said to quote his specific word. He said at Anfield, coaches are the kings of the club.
So should continue like that.
I'm saying that this is the character of the club they have sold to us. There are certain things I try to decouple my own feelings and assessment of it, and judge the people based on their character and the way they say we should judge them.
So irrespective of results,
these two incidents were just a few months ago.
Fair enough.
So back the manager.
Okay.
Stay loyal to him. But the guy just won you the league about 7 or 8 months ago. He should have enough credit in the bank. It is a difficult period. We get it. By the character and expectations of a big club, 9 defeats from 12 games is a sackable offense at any big club. So I would understand if under normal circumstances we are discussing this at any other club or even at Liverpool and you say that, oh, they should sack the manager. The results are not good. The performances have been bad. There have been repeated incidents where clear tactical patterns, the manager is not able to fix them. There's been incidents where his communication, he comes across as he's making excuses. First, he was blaming it on the long balls. Then he was saying that opponents were changing their strategy, like Karim Zito. What Zito was saying, that teams beat Kotoko and they start performing, they start playing better than they usually. That's what Slot was doing. That teams meet them and they are changing. So he was complaining about the United lineup and their approach against them. So all of those things are things that when you do in a period where the club is going through crisis, any sane man should look at that and say your position at the very least should be considered, if not sacked. But the people we are talking about here, they claim that they are the paragons of loyalty, and that if you serve them for 20 years, they reserve the right to curse you and abuse you verbally or in any other form they wish, just because you decided that you want to play for another club. But you see, all of this, it betrays the truth of all of this, and our understanding that we should not take those words seriously. It betrays the basic truism of football. People are selfish and only loyal to themselves. Trent, if Trent was poor, Liverpool would have hounded him. There were many players who started at the Liverpool Academy with him.
But poor, you mean if he wasn't a good player?
Yes. Not all of them lasted 20 years. There were many guys there.
That the club got rid of.
The club had to get rid of them because there are standards they live by. If you do not perform to those standards, they kick you out. And if they sack Slots, it will be in furtherance of those high standards that they hold coaches to. I'm just saying to let people know that if we are to go by your own words, then the manager should stay. But it is hypocrisy. You cannot pick and choose when to demand loyalty from people, and then when it comes to your turn, you don't want to be loyal. Now to Slot,
but you just started a very good example of how they haven't been loyal to other players.
Yes.
In the past.
Now to Slot,
so they can do same to Slot too.
No, I'm saying that
you made a very good example.
When it suits them, yes.
Yes, exactly. So now it suits them.
Yes.
Now it suits them. So they should get rid of him.
Now to Slot himself. Look, he needs to save himself by sacrificing some of the big names that the club has signed.
Make some bold calls.
Immediately.
You mean drop them from the starting lineup?
Drop Florian Wirtz until the foreseeable future.
Okay.
There is no tactical context within this Liverpool team as we speak that can accommodate him.
I see.
Without affecting the team negatively and seriously. Because when he plays, we've seen it. The only times he does well and Liverpool looks okay is against inferior opposition. So the game against Eintracht Frankfurt, you saw that. But in the high-octane games in the Premier League, he has struggled to cope with the intensity. And it is not because he's a bad player. At the moment, it is just not a good fix.
Who else?
Alexander Isak, drop him.
Yeah, he's struggled.
Look, Isak, Wirtz, drop them for about 5 consecutive games. Let this team get some rhythm. Revert this experimentation of playing Slot to Okahobi. Szoboszlai has been Liverpool's best player this season by some distance and best midfielder. And yet, whenever he wants to rejig things, the best player is the one who gets sacrificed and shifted to the right side. Push him back into the middle. Give the defense better protection. And ride the storm. When things calm down, then you can start thinking of reverting to your own concept. But in the moment, stay in the job long enough to be able to implement your ideas.
That's an attack, but they're also conceding a lot. So
that's why I'm saying that. So in midfield, bring in Szoboszlai.
Okay.
If it means adding Endo to the mix, whatever mixture that gives you better protection for the central defense, do it. Because at the moment, Van Dijk is finished.
So that means players like McAllister have to be benched?
Or drop him. Physically, he's not even in the right condition.
Gravenberch?
Obviously, Gravenberch will start.
So Gravenberch, Endo,
Szoboszlai. Because whatever they are doing now is just counterproductive. What they are playing now takes away their best midfielder from his best position. Takes away their best player, Mohamed Salah, from his best position, because what the right wing, whatever nonsense we've been seeing this season, that is not Salah.
So if you bring Szoboszlai into midfield, what do you do at the right back position? Who do you play? Bradley or Fentuo?
Bradley or Joe Gomez, whoever gives you solidity.
Injured. Ian Fentuo are injured.
Whoever gives you solidity there. If it is Joe, and you see this idea that every fullback has to bomb up and down the pitch, Liverpool, forget it. Your team is not balanced enough to do that in this moment.
You were on Van Dijk's case.
On Van Dijk. You see, sometimes circumstances expose some of the exaggerated values that people accord these players. The so-called leadership and personality at the back. No? See, about 70% of it is oral. If you are on YouTube or TikTok here, just go and type in Sancho's goal against Liverpool and watch that goal again. When Sancho took the first touch, Milner was the closest to the ball. But he was not in the sight of Sancho. So he dives in there ostensibly to block the shots. He gets dribbled. The whole time Van Dijk has his hands behind him, protecting himself. And then Sancho scores. He screams at him, and I'm talking about James Milner. He screamed at him, saying that you had to get closer to the guy because you've seen that the guy is about to pull the trigger. You had no business putting your hands behind you, watching when you are the centre back. But that was someone who was the extension of the coach's authority on the pitch, who could call out the mistakes of a teammate. In James Milner's absence, who in this Liverpool team will look Van Dijk in the eye and tell him when he's misbehaving, when he's underperforming, when he's shirking responsibility? Because there's been many instances where Van Dijk will choose to protect himself instead of engaging with the opponent and trying to deal with the danger there and then. He will delegate it. He would start screaming at his teammates to step in and then do the job while he stands in his position, even if he's the closest player to the action. So that is not happening. He's not taking that responsibility. And unfortunately for Liverpool, there is no one in the team at the moment who can call him out. We're seeing him scoring goals that look very deliberate. Own goals that look very deliberate because...
Which own goal?
The handball. No.
That's not an own goal.
It looks very deliberate. Sorry. The penalty. It was literally an own goal. He's conceding penalties that look very deliberate because the sort of force that he suffered from. It's not the kind that should cause your arm to move up.
I don't even understand
the direction of the ball.
Do you know that I saw one video replay of the incident? The rest of the teammates looked back in shock.
Oh, they would.
It's like, what was that?
Yes.
Like, almost to say, like, what was that?
And you see, each time he makes
he was asking the referee what the referee had given. Like, where is he, Van Dijk? Where is shocks?
Like, what was that?
It shocks the referee whistle against him. Like, how do you call that for a penalty?
Yeah, so he was protesting. Like, I genuinely want to know from our listeners, what was he looking for? Like, what was his complaint? That he was fouled?
Like, no, he's Van Dijk. You can't take a penalty against him.
Look, Van Dijk, you are not that guy.
Guys, let's move on.
Roll up your sleeves and the socks and put in the work.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fair enough. Daneke, I don't want to stay on Liverpool and Van Dijk.
It's okay.
Let's talk about Arsenal.
Yeah.
What a game against Bayern Munich, especially in that second half. Look, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I genuinely, at this point, I'm very afraid of Arsenal. Simply because they just look so strong. It doesn't matter who plays. Arsenal just look a completely different team. And what I think is different now is not even the talent they have, is the confidence, the self-belief. Because there are not many teams in world football right now, if any at all, where Arsenal would go in at the moment feeling like they're underdogs.
Of course not, because they are not, and they will not be. It's been years of work. You have to credit the head coach for that. It's been years of work, and this thing has been coming. To be frank, I'm sad because they haven't won anything big during that period.
Right.
But they deserve to. This thing should happen this year. You can't be this good for such a long period and not have anything to show for it. And in reference to the Wednesday game, look, Bayern are good.
Mm-hmm. That's the only reason they've won as many as they have. Yeah. The whole season they had only one draw.
Even in the Champions League, they've had two really tough games. They are A-listed games. The Chelsea one, the PSG one.
Yeah.
And the manner in which they won those games, you could clearly tell they were by far, outclassed the opposition, were by far the better team. Even the PSG game, because as a 2-0 before the red card, they were on top. Mm-hmm. You didn't see how PSG were going to come back. And even with 10 men,
they still saw the way.
So able to hold their own and bust the game. But Arsenal made them what every team that has faced Bayern this season has struggled to deal with. Their fluidity, the way the players move around, very difficult to track. Arsenal made it look very easy. Even in that first half, in as much as yes, it was close, I still think Arsenal were the better team in the first half. It should have been 2-0 before 1-1. Mm-hmm. Eze's chance was something that 9 times out of 10 he scored, and unfortunately that was the one time and he missed it. But Bayern Munich had that one opportunity and was the perfect opportunity. A super pass, it doesn't get any better than that from Kimmich. One time a cross by Gnabry straight into the path of Karl Lennart, and it was in the back of the net. Mm-hmm. But that was literally one chance Bayern had the entire game. The chance that you would bank your hopes on hitting the back of the net, and they did that. From then they just couldn't threaten Arsenal, and it was Arsenal creating chance after chance after chance with ease. And again, we need to remember that this is an Arsenal team without any of their fit or their 3 centre forwards. Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, and Jokers are all injured.
All didn't play the Bayern
any
game.
Part of this game.
Wow.
Their best defender in the last 3 years in Gabriel, who is probably the leader at the back, is injured, missed this game. Any team would feel the repercussions. Arsenal didn't. And they used 2 different replacements in the last 2 games, and they've looked very, very okay. In fact, they've looked like Gabriel was there. You would think Gabriel was playing. In Hincapié and then Mosquera played against Tottenham. Hincapié played against Tottenham and then Bayern Munich. You look at even the rotation, and it's been happening in the Champions League. I've mentioned it here. Miles Lewis-Kelly usually plays in the Champions League. Then Calafiori will play in the league. And this is a manager who is now flexing his squad depth. Mm-hmm. That his quote-unquote second choice left back or some of the second choice players are good enough to face the best team or one of the best teams in Europe this season and will hold their own. And then we saw the sort of players he brought off the bench. Boga, Martinelli, Odegaard, Ben White. These guys are coming off the bench. Madueke, they are coming off the bench. And Madu. He wasn't just coming to play a part. They came in and they changed the game. Calafiori, Martinelli, and Madueke came in and they changed the game. So, look, if you are looking, I know there are plenty people who have seen this from the start of the season. Oh, don't meet this thing. Oh, don't meet. As for Arsenal, they are meeting and they are beating them. Like, they are not beating them. It's not close. Arsenal are bossing them and beating them. Atletico Madrid were fresh off that Madrid high. They came to, Emirates came to take 4. Bayern Munich have been imperious this season. Came to Emirates. They came to take their 3. They've beaten Tottenham 4. They are beating teams and they are beating them well. And that is what you have to do if you want to win championships. And I feel like anytime Arsenal meet that test, in everybody's eyes, this is going to be the test. They are showing teams that they are here to stay. And again, I really hope this thing can sustain, and I believe it will, because it can only get better from here. Players are going to return. More options are going to come. Arteta is going to have more solutions to problems that will come in the future. And
that's always the thing, though. That's what you expect to happen. It doesn't always happen.
No. Look.
Right?
When Arsenal
I agree with you.
But I'm saying in the context of Arsenal, if you look at the season, they finished 5th. Missed out on Champions League football when they lost to Tottenham away, and they missed out on the last day.
Yeah.
After that, when they finished 2nd and when they shocked everybody, the last 3 months in the season, they suffered serious injuries. Saliba got injured. Holding had to play the rest of the season. Partey was injured. They struggled with midfield. Then the following season too, they had major injuries. Last season, they had major injuries. The difference is that they are having major injuries this season. But because of the squad, it's not early. You can't see that they are major injuries because the squad is good enough to cater for it. So that's what I'm saying, that even in the second half of the season, even if the injuries come, unless maybe something happens and maybe there's food poisoning, the cook doesn't cook well and everybody get rounds too or something, they have to go use under 18. But aside that, they have a really good squad that can hold their own against anybody.
I understand that. What about form? Because injuries are one thing that can affect a team's performance. But then there's also an issue of form.
Yeah.
Like how do we look, nobody knows the future. But I was gonna say that right now though, isn't it a bit too early to judge and say Arsenal are just like, because of what they're doing now, they're gonna win a lot of things towards the end of the season?
No, it's about projections. The football is about predictions.
Yeah.
It's not a prophecy, so you can definitely say it's going to happen. It's a prediction.
Yeah.
Based on how Arsenal are playing and based on how they are seen of their opponents and their big opponents, it is fair to say that
they'll win everything.
No, it is fair to say that they can win the big thing. They can win the big thing. Not they will win the big thing.
I get it.
Because by this time last season, PSG were nowhere near good enough to win the Champions League.
True.
By this time last season, Liverpool were all the way up there with Inter Milan as the two favorites to win.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
Liverpool were unstoppable.
They were unstoppable. They really were. They were playing some fabulous football. Salah was scoring and banging in the goal. Luis Diaz, amazing. Slotto here and there. In the end, when PSG turned around that corner in January and they found their rhythm, they were unstoppable. So Arsenal looked like that Liverpool, and then that Liverpool, maybe that Inter around this time of the year. But once we got into January, some teams just picked some momentum. And yes, so Arsenal might be good enough now. Of course, I think the Premier League is theirs to lose, largely because of the chasing pack. Now, the chasing pack have not shown that they are good enough or they have any level of consistency in them to keep it up with Arsenal. Arsenal, however, have shown that they can go on that run and do it. So it's City and Chelsea that are chasing them. I don't think they have the same level of consistency and the squad depth to do so. But Europe is a different ball game because it's Real Madrid. Alonso can lose his job and another manager comes and it's different. Alonso can find a tune of the team and it's different. Barca can, anything could happen. Even the same buying that Arsenal be now can be. There's Paris Saint-Germain still there. So you are only
even Chelsea in Europe.
You're only looking at what Arsenal are doing now. I knew the teams I mentioned. You won't force Chelsea into my mind. You're looking at what Arsenal are doing now, and you are thinking that based on what they are doing and based on how the season is going, if it continues this way, they are likely to be. In fact, no doubt about it. They are one of the favorites to win in Europe, based on what we've seen so far. But as you say, football changes very quickly. It's very fluid. So between now and when the crunch time comes, Arsenal must still be in this type of shape and form to be able to remain, at that competitive level, to be beating those big teams and go on and win the big thing. But for now, who is to say they can't, considering the squad that they got? For me, finally before I come see, for me, it's just and because when you lose the number of players Arsenal have lost to injuries, important players, and you go about your job as though those players are not even part of the team, that is ridiculous. And that is not, and again,
ridiculously impressive, you mean?
Yeah. And again, Arsenal don't have to play the same way in trying to don't have to play the same way when they replace an injured player and an important player who's injured. For example, when Madueke replaced Saka, Arsenal played differently on that wing. Madueke will start very, very high on that line. He will stretch that line and take on players there.
Shoulder width.
When Saka plays, it's different. Saka has to cut in more. Madueke was going down the line, putting in some crosses, and when he had the opportunity to come in. But when Merino plays that free roll false 9 thing. Oh, false 9 free roll for Arsenal. It is different from when Gyökeres plays. And the most impressive thing about it is that it is seamless when these changes happens. Because even in game situations, when the manager makes those changes, the entire team adapts. Look, Arsenal are efficient on the ball, but even more devastating is when they are off it. And that is why teams don't even create. Look, Bayern have got Harry Kane. They've got Michael Olise. They've got Serge Gnabry. These 3 players have been some of the best attackers in the world this season. Yet, they could not crack them down. And when you look at the games that they've played, I mean, Arsenal have played, opponents don't get chances against them. That is a serious matter. So if they can keep this one up, then and look, you can keep the game at 0-0, defend whatever you like. They'll play the corner, they'll score that corner 1-0, we'll close.
It almost feels like Arsenal's game plan mostly hinges on them scoring first. If they score first, game over. Like, you're not getting back. But even in the character that they've shown in even games where they've gone behind it's unbelievable. I really, really like.
Years gone by, Arsenal were tagged as a soft team.
Yeah.
You know, they play all the fine football there. But
they could easily be bullied. Let's put it that way.
But now Arsenal are physical, like mentally they are tough. And look, a game against Bayern briefly. In that first time, I thought Bayern away from home against this impressive Arsenal team held their own quite well. But by 60th minute, Bayern didn't have the legs to cope with the intensity of Arsenal. Arsenal were just too sharp, too strong, too brute for Bayern to cope with them. Kimmich, Pavlovic, they had lost gas. Gnabry, Olise, they are short gas because Arsenal were just too powerful across the entire pitch for them to cope with. So yeah, that's what they've got.
Actually, quick word on that game, and then we move on to Chelsea. We need to
that bit,
yeah.
The last point is what makes Arsenal a dangerous proposition in the knockouts from match. I get it. It is true that titles are won from match. So usually form around this time, you don't attach too much value to them. Also, often the teams that heat up around this time of the season, all other things being equal, when they are performing at full capacity, when the regular winners of the Champions League and the best teams in Europe peak from match, those teams tend not to be able to match up, right? So if we're talking about, say, some Tottenham that had this sort of form, and we're having this conversation, or the recent iteration of Manchester United that is not very competitive, that we're playing this way, you could say that. But we know that even at their best, when Liverpool's, when the Real Madrid's, when PSG in the season they won it, find their rhythm in that level, the team that we're talking about will probably come up short. But Arsenal are different. And look, if you had asked me this question maybe 2 years ago, I would say that much better 12.
Not even 2 years, a month ago, 2 months ago, start of the season. Even 2 weeks ago.
I think from a year ago, for about a year now, the growth Arsenal have shown is the reason last month I said they have to win multiple titles this season. If they don't, they have themselves to blame.
Not just one.
Yes, multiple titles.
So if they win the Premier League, they must add a cup.
Look, they are too good win just one.
Massa. What do you put it on?
You want to answer the question for me?
What do you put
the way I see Arsenal?
You can't.
They are too good.
You can't at the start of the season tell me that Arsenal won't win because it's Arsenal. Then 2 months into the season, you are telling me they shouldn't win just one. But
when did he say that Arsenal won't win?
But he said it at the start of the season. He's been saying this. Arteta. They'll not win because of Arteta. So in 2 months, all of a sudden they should win.
It's not all of a sudden.
2 months.
No, yeah, but you look at all the teams around.
In those 2 months, they can
multiple titles. That's what? How many teams?
No.
How many teams go into season winning multiple titles? What are you telling me?
No, but we have Danny.
A team that hasn't won in 5 years. Now you are telling me that if they don't win multiple titles,
why do you have a problem with that? Why do you have a problem with that?
Because how can you tell me that a team that hasn't won 5 years in the space of 2 months, you see that if they don't win multiple titles, then it's not enough?
Because they've got a great opportunity of doing so.
Massa, everybody has a great opportunity of winning. Since when do we start predicting the end of the season in November?
What are you telling me? Is what he said.
What are you telling me?
All things being equal is what he said.
Exactly.
All things being equal is what he
said. He's not predicting. He's projecting.
Yes.
No. He says if they don't win, multiple titles, then what? If they don't win multiple, then what? They are not good.
Hold on. Madrid are not looking good.
Yeah.
Barca are not looking good.
You are the same people who said that second half of the season the top teams will peak. How can you now sit here and tell me in November that Arsenal, if they don't win multiple
He said
titles,
several things before saying that.
do you know how well Man City will get to
Atsu, go on.
They don't need to win any multiple titles behind.
They are capable.
Much noise when you did not even listen.
Every team is capable of
first point.
Atsu, don't
Why
mind.
now tell me
Atsu,
that
don't
if
mind.
they don't win, then
hold
what?
on.
Daddy
The
K.
very
It's a
first
good opportunity.
premise I set
good
was
opportunity
about the
for
fact that
Man City,
the very first
they
thing
don't win
I said
champions.
was about
They
the
don't
fact
win
that
leagues. They don't win
Situ.
the titles
DK.
are won from match,
yes.
and the teams that win it show their form from that period. So for anyone who make that argument, they are not wrong.
Yeah.
I also said that the Arsenal team that we're looking at is a matured team, and that is why I will not put them in the bracket of that general view that until we reach March, we cannot take them seriously. Also, I said if they don't win multiple titles, they have themselves to blame. That is how I ended
why
it.
he
I did
said,
not.
that's true.
I did not say it is not good enough. Whatever,
fair
They
enough.
don't need to
whatever,
win multiple
fair
titles.
whatever deductions you make,
Good
it
opportunity.
is
Don't mind.
completely
Don't mind.
irrelevant.
Don't mind.
My point on
Yeah, I wanted us to, or you want something? You want to add something?
Go on.
No. I wanted us to move on. I thought you were done on the Arsenal bit.
Go on.
All right, cool. Let's wrap up our Champions League conversation with the Chelsea one, quick one. DK, now you get the microphone, so don't interrupt Atsu again, or else problem. Listen, that was supposed to be Lamine Yamal versus Estaval, whatever. Chelsea utterly. Wait, it's true. It's like you didn't monitor the timeline before the
It was from Chelsea fans. It's not
Chelsea
You
fans.
didn't put it that way.
Chelsea fans will
No,
say
major-
again,
no major- It's not Chelsea fan. You're saying that there were no Barca fan. Hold on.
No, wait. No major.
I said
sporting
I'm major.
outlet.
I'm major. I said.
And also, you're major.
They can't.
Major, you're major. No.
There's some
As for major, you're major.
They can't disagree with
Not many major sporting outlets build it that way.
I'm major.
You're major. Proceed. I retract.
No, I agree with you, Fen. It was supposed to be.
Thank you.
No, I retract. We are major.
Thank you. The battle of the 18-year-olds. What I say? Bottom line being that in the end, it wasn't as competitive as it was supposed to be. Chelsea cruised to a 3-0 victory. But what did that game tell us about both teams?
First of all, I knew Chelsea will win.
You said it. That one, I agree with you.
I knew Chelsea will win. I knew they will win comfortably. Because Barca have their serious issues. It is something that it follows Hansi Flick everywhere he goes.
It's a Hansi Flick problem.
It's a Hansi Flick. It's also becoming a Slotto problem.
I see.
You see, in the world of elite football, when you peak and you hit a certain level, best believe that the following season, teams will figure you out. There will be an antidote. So you have to constantly think and on how to improve your systems and your strategy or whatever. But this season, first of all, Barca don't press as well. It's not as intense. We've seen it in all the big games they've played this season. But they still maintain their high line.
Yeah.
So it is easy to get in behind them. Very easy. For any decent team, you can score goals against Barcelona. Secondly, another thing that works for them, their build-up play from the back. It has become very predictable to the point that if you are pressing against Barcelona, it is easy to trap them and force them to just rotate the ball around places that are not dangerous unless they can get the ball to their danger men, which is very difficult because they have been trapped. So these are things that Hansi Flick needs to fix. Football, no, you can have the perfect tactics, but here some 1 or 2 chances be pie. Club World Cup, before Chelsea scored the first goal, PSG had some very good chance. That's how football is. You will never have that perfect. Maybe the Man City Real Madrid game, that 4-0 at Etihad. Maybe that's the one that you can find and say, okay, fine, it was perfect. But it's very difficult to get it. So by all means, Barcelona, we knew that we will create some 1 or 2 chances. But when the game settled and Chelsea started playing, everybody had understood their role. Barca couldn't threaten them. When Chelsea picked up the ball, very purposeful, knew exactly what they were doing and kept on knocking. And you just knew that it was a matter of time, just a matter of time before that goal would go in. And even at 1-0, this, it paid me pound that Barcelona got a red card. I didn't want Barca to get a red card.
But even until the red card, like
you see, these things are funny.
They're now falling on it.
No, I'm not even talking about the fans. Football is nice when the best teams are competitive.
Right.
And if Barca didn't get that red card and Chelsea beat them and beat them good, maybe Hansi Flick will look at his team and feel like there's something he needs to fix. But when the red card happens and you lose, it's very easy for you to say that, oh, because we're a man down, we could not. And I don't want that thing. I want Barca to be competitive so that Champions League, latter stage, you see the best teams, you see high quality football. But besides the point. Hey, Kukurea. Friends, football. No, we sport football. Social media has sport football. PR has sport football.
Right.
Because right now, reputation is better than actual performance. I'm telling you.
Explain.
If you have some aura around you,
like Van Dijk.
Thank you. And you are shine.
Like Van Dijk.
It will take a long time before people accept that, yes, you are shine. If you don't have aura around you and you are doing well, you have to do about 10 times more and be consistent just to catch eye. That ball that Vitinha is playing at PSG, if he was wearing Pedri's jersey, by now a J Ballon d'Or.
I don't see.
But he's Vitinha. In his team, no. This guy has already created the aura boy in the team, Dembele.
Yes.
So when PSG do well, and that's how football has become. Now the best player is the best player in the best team.
Right.
The face, in fact, is the face of the team, the best team. So if Lamine Yamal is the face of Barcelona, when Barcelona wins, then Lamine Yamal is the best player. We are not looking at actual performances because.
What kind of crap out?
Oh, it's true.
Yes, it's true.
It's true. I'm telling you the truth. It's true.
It's true.
That's why Rafinha.
The examples abound.
Oh, plenty.
And Lamine Yamal.
Plenty. We've seen Yabre. Plenty. 2010s is okay. See, what Kuku is doing now, it's not today matter.
Right.
It's been, correct me if I'm wrong, at least 2.5 years of consistent performances. And he's that fullback that reminds me of what the job used to be like back in the day.
Defending.
You can defend, and when you go for it too, you can add something. He's not lopsided. He's balanced.
Actually cool.
Proper fullback, balanced. If they isolate him one-on-one, the coach can be confident that he will deal with his man.
Right.
When he's making that overlapping run and you give him the pass, best believe that he also pick out the man in the box. The guy is balanced, and we don't see players like that often. So we only get to extol him when he does it against some big team or some big player. And even that one, it doesn't last because you don't get the aura. But Kukurea, if we are doing the FIFA best player 11 thing they are doing, I voted for Kukurea. Team of me, I voted for Kukurea. He's the best left back we have right now in terms of balance.
Top 100 journalists in the world.
Oh yes,
voted for him.
Solid.
Thank you.
Look, Tahiru, the guy has dealt with one-on-one. Saka is inside the pocket. And the way this pocket thing works, you are inside my pocket until you get yourself out. So until you meet again. Thank you. Until Saka. So if Saka meets him on Sunday and Saka doesn't get out, he remains in the pocket.
That's right.
Salah is in the pocket. Now Lamine Yamal is also in the pocket. These are top class. In fact, the best. If you are talking about right wingers in the world, the best, top 3, best in the world. Go and find who is better than them. But yeah, Sitsofe said Anthony. But Anthony will not have the opportunity to face Kuku.
If Anthony catch Kuku, it's okay, you continue. No.
But they met.
They don't meet already.
They met at the conference league final.
Anthony ball.
Anthony.
He's sound.
He's
there.
The final. He's in the pocket.
He's there.
He's
You forgot. He's there.
The Conference League final. Anthony's in the
He's
pocket.
there.
Yeah, you forget. Look, Kuku is good, though. And
excellent.
For me, if you look, take everything out. For somebody to work his way into the starting 11 of the Spanish national team, and it's not like he was there and the rest came to meet him. Kuku was out of the reckoning. He played his way ahead of Balde and Grimaldo, and it's not a small feat because Balde, if anybody looks at the profile of Balde and Grimaldo, they suit what we know Spain will
like to play.
Offensive, very good on the ball. But Kukureya, with his look at him at the Euros. People already don't talk about the Euros. But his least performance was 7/10 at the Euros.
He was impeccable.
Solid guy, Mr. Reliable. So, again, football doesn't tell the truth. Maybe he needs to do something against maybe Messi, but these days to Messi doesn't go on the right. And he's working. So
but are you sure Lamine Yamal, no, the Chelsea game, no, he played like wait, what did they really put in that much effort? That Kuku was just too good for him, or there are some things around Lamine Yamal's own game that makes it that made it easier for Kukureya?
This one is a simple thing. If you've played ball before, and Sitsofe lefty, yeah. No, actually he be Kante, so he be midfield. You know if he relate to this thing. But if he be winger before,
Atsu has a history of the first time he ran long distance, or is it middle distance?
I don't know. You guys know why?
Oh yes, you ask him.
He faint for the mountain top.
Oh my brother, watching a mountain. By the time he crossed the finish line, the whole stretcher. For him.
Straight.
Where he went straight onto the stretcher. Where you know how they do the this thing.